Okay, part two, and this is going to be short. Yeah, my camera ran out of memory. My memory card ran out of memory. Yeah. Anyway, so let's wrap this up. This is part two, and there's not a whole lot more to this direct object pronoun stuff. We can beat you to death with that, but ultimately, if you look online, you will find a lot of very good things that explain this. But I think this is better because it's my version, okay? Now, the last thing I want to leave you with is let's work a little bit with it and her and them, okay? Let's do a couple of fast ones of those, all right? Now, let's take the verb recognize, okay? Reconocer, reconocer. Now, what if I want to ask you, hey, do you recognize the girls? Ah, well, here we go. Now, I can say that very easily. Tú reconoces, okay, the personal A, don't worry about it, a las chicas. Okay, ultimately, what you're thinking about, what you really need to concentrate on here is chicas. Do you recognize? Now, in Spanish, when you have a question, what you do is when you have the reverse question mark here, the reverse question mark just means, hey, there's a question coming up, okay? In English, we say, do you, did you, okay, that kind of thing. We use the word do to indicate a question's coming. Do you, did you, okay? Does he, do, does, did, those are all just a way of saying, here comes a question. Well, in Spanish, they don't do that. They just take the question mark, they turn it upside down, and it's like, hey, tú reconoces, or you can say, reconoces tú, recognize you, or you can just cover that completely and say, reconoces, do you recognize? So when you see that coming, okay, at the beginning of the sentence, you need to change your voice, all right, which is very cool. So, here you have the sentence, tú reconoces a las chicas. Do you recognize? Hey, you recognize, do you recognize the girls? Now, this is functioning as a direct object. Why? Because you're saying, las chicas, the girls. But what if we want to replace it? What if you want to replace it, and what if somebody answers you and they don't want to say, they don't want to say, I recognize the girls. They want to say, I recognize them. Aha, check this out. I recognize. That's the question. Here's the answer. That's a ZCO verb, a little weird, but I recognize. Now, I can say, yo reconozco a las chicas. I can say that. I recognize the girls. I can say, there's nothing wrong with that. But if I choose to instead say, hey, yeah, I recognize them, now you got a bird word situation. I recognize them. I recognize them. Okay? Now, the girls is plural and it is feminine. So I go to the wing and I go to the them words. What do we got? Oh, I know. I'll pick the feminine plural word. So while I could say, yo reconozco a las chicas, I recognize the girls, I want to say I recognize them. So what do we got? I'm choosing to not use the word girls. I'm choosing to say I recognize them. As long as it's a bird word, you're going to choose the them in the wing. That is them. Las, plural, feminine, them. Yo las reconozco. I recognize them. Why? Because that's the bird word and it goes in between these two. How's that? Clear as mud? Clear as mud, I'm telling you. Okay? Yeah, absolutely. So, that's not difficult. Now, the only part that gets a little bit geeky, okay, is let's say you're talking in a room and you say, yo las reconozco. Yo las reconozco. You're saying, I recognize them. Well, if somebody kind of comes in the room at that time and goes, whoa, who's them? Then you will say, oh, yeah, las chicas. Oh, las chicas, that's the them, it's girls. All right? It's the same thing in English. Hey, I recognize them. Somebody walks in the room. Hey, who are you talking about? Oh, who's them? Well, the girls. I recognize them, the girls. That's it. Y'all, that really is the long and short of direct object pronouns and where we put them in the sentence. And what if we have two of them? What if we have two? Well, we simply follow this order. Going left to right, that's simply what we do, okay? Now, we're about to up our ante with indirect object pronouns, and that's going to happen next. So stand by, and you'll see that a lot of people think, oh, the indirect object pronouns are awful. They're not so bad. You just got to spend a little time kind of figuring it out, okay? We'll get there. Don't worry. Don't worry, okay? So this is me signing off for now, saying adios, hasta la próxima. All right, that's DOPS. Next comes INDOPS, indirect object pronouns. Very cool. Ciao.